Okay, hello everyone. This is Dr. Brian Capra. I'm coming to you with the New Beginnings regular webinar. Today I'm really excited to have on the phone Dr. Jay Handt, and what we're going to be talking about, or what Dr. Handt is going to be talking about, is his hazardous material PowerPoint presentation, the top 5 new practice mistakes. So if you're new in a practice or you're thinking of opening a practice, you don't want to miss this. This information can literally save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars trying to start a new practice out. Just so you know a little bit about Dr. Handt, he's on the Board of Trustees at Life University. He's been practicing in Manhattan for 33 years and been on the New Beginnings board for over 20 years. A little bit about New Beginnings if you don't know about it. New Beginnings is something I've been going to since I've been a student. We used to drive up from Life University in Atlanta and get a big bus and drive all the students up. It's a big family-oriented philosophical powwow. I mean, it's just an amazing, you leave there just pumped up and on fire and you just can't wait to get out there and tell more people about chiropractic when you leave there. And Dr. Handt has been a big part of making that vision a reality. So Dr. Handt, thank you so much for being on the phone today and sharing your expertise and your wealth of knowledge with the students out there.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
So I guess we should just kind of get right into it. The top 5 new practice mistakes. Okay, number 1 you say is failing to pre-promote. Now again, we have a lot of kids that are in clinic right now and they're doing 50-minute chiropractic adjustments. So what does failing to pre-promote mean for a new guy out there?
Well, failing to pre-promote, a lot of people that go out and open up their first practice or open up a practice, they wait until everything's perfect in the practice. They got the door. They get into the door. They have their tables, have their equipment, have everything set up, and now they're going to start to look for patients. All right. Basically, 2 to 3 months out, they should be already looking for patients. They should be active in the community. They should be handing out flyers. They should be going, if it's a small community, going door to door, introducing themselves, so that by the time they have their first week in practice, they already have a waiting list of new patients that want to get in to see them. Okay.
Can you suggest any very specific, if you had to say, call this club, or in every town there is this that everybody should be involved in, or even maybe like a Facebook promotion or something like that?
Well, what I would do is find out who the community leaders are, if there's a Rotary Club, if there's a city council, if there's a PTA, if it's a small group. Those are the main clubs to get into. You want to get into the clubs that are more social and going out wanting to help people, because those people are always around. You know, they're always talking to other people. Another really important thing to do is if you're in a small community, you can go door to door, introduce yourself and say you're doing a healthcare survey, wanting to know about the neighborhood, the health habits, and let them know that if I'm going to be opening up in several weeks, would it be okay if I send you an invite to our open house celebration? And so you start creating a mailing list. There are BNI groups, which is a business networking group. You can go to those. You can set up outside talks before you get into practice. Go talk to PTA, senior citizen homes, churches, synagogues, any place that's available that has outside speakers, and what you're doing is volunteering your time as a gift to them to meet, to help the community.
Right. So their mindset going into the meeting of the head of the BNI or the head of the PTA or the chamber president, what should their mindset be as far as what they're bringing to the table? I'm a new guy. I'm out of school. I have no patience, no experience. What should my mindset be trying to get into these groups?
Your mindset when you go into any of this group is you have to think, what's in it for them? What can I offer them that's going to make a positive, powerful difference in the way their group functions? Right. So it's not, you can't go and say, well, I'm the young guy on the block. I need help. Send me people. I'm the young guy on the block. I want to get involved. I want to help you guys. And this is what I can do to get started with you. So it's what you can give to them. What are you bringing to them? And it's not necessarily bringing chiropractic. You can be bringing the idea of wellness. You can be bringing the idea of ergonomics. You can be, bringing the idea of pediatrics. If you go into a high school or a public school, you can do backpack safety. You want to think of things that are going to help the organization you're going to, not that the organization is going to help you.
Right. Okay. Very good. I mean, and that's all free stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
You know, right now when you're starting practice, you know, you'll see with the next slide is it's about overhead. There's a lot of free PR out there where you don't have to spend thousands of dollars a month.
Okay, so that's a perfect segue. So mistake number 2 is overwhelming overhead. So if you want to just hit that one.
Well, young doctors tend to think that they need the newest, the best, the latest, the most important piece of equipment. And really the only thing you need are your hands and a table.
Right.
You know, and if it's a specialized table, great. But all you need are your hands and a table. And so don't go out and spend, you know, $10,000 on a granite countertop. Don't go out and spend, you know, $30,000 on waiting room furniture. You know, start off really simple. You know, get the space is the most important thing. Get that, get in. You're already advertising. People will come in. You know, you can progressively add more. You can add an X-ray unit if that's what you want. You can add a subluxation station if that's what you want. There are a lot of things you can add as you start to accumulate your money. But to go out and wind up with an $80,000 overhead, you know, that's ridiculous.
Right.
You know, start out as simple as possible and grow into your practice and let your practice grow with you.
Very good. Okay, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I know I hear it a lot. I know this is something that I really got out of New Beginnings when I used to drive up there and coming out of school. Was just you guys, you know, it really helps to hear this. And when you go to New Beginnings, you hear it so often that it becomes ingrained in you. These practice saving or these principles that you teach, you guys taught us, and eventually I took with me. Is these simple little things that you hear, you really appreciate when you get out and you have to do it on your own. You know, don't overdo it. It's not about your location or the color of your table. It's just, hey, just help people, right, and just get out there and serve.
And really what you want to do is a real important thing. For every dollar you spend, you want to know that that dollar is going to create, you know, 2, 3, 4 times in its worth in return.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you're buying an X-ray unit, for example, and you get a used X-ray unit, you may have a monthly lease payment of $300 a month to have that X-ray unit, but if you're seeing patients, you'll be generating $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
So that's a good return on your investment. Where when you go and buy this beautiful painting that hangs on a wall for $1,000, it looks real good. You just hung a painting on a wall for $1,000, and it's not paying you back anything other than, you know, it looks good.
Right.
You know, so always question everything you buy in practice and make sure that it's going to increase your revenue in your practice. It's going to do something that's going to have a really good return on its investment.
Right. Okay.
Okay, well, if you like what you're hearing so far, what you need to do is go to the New Beginnings blog. That's New Beginnings Chiropractic Philosophy.blogspot.com. That's blogspot, blogspot.com. New Beginnings Chiropractic Philosophy.blogspot.com. And search for Dr. Handt, or Handt, in the search pane, and it'll bring you the remainder of this webinar, which is the final 3 steps, or final 3 mistakes to avoid when starting a new practice.